My name is Rabih. I'm one of the owners over at Advanced Building Components. We started this business almost 2 years ago. My background is manufacturing. I have a master's degree in manufacturing engineering from Arizona State University. And I've spent 23 years of my life overseas setting up manufacturing businesses across the world. And I finally came back home and we started a business up here in Massachusetts. We were looking at market needs, and because of the nature of our business that with our partners that was happening, and we decided to start with the walls, building the walls and going into panelization. With that in mind, honestly, we looked at a lot of different companies that we wanted to see if we can partner with, and we decided to work with Triad. Triad turned out to be a very good choice for us. We started with them back, we installed the lines back in August of 2017, and from August until today we must have ran at least over 500,000 square feet of production on these units. So far we are very happy with the systems. The technical support that we are getting from the Triad team has been really extraordinary. Everything that we ever needed, any support, any advice, any technicals. At times, if there's any issues, the guys will fly the technicians up here to support if there's anything. But so far, it's nothing been as a problem to say. But as technical support to come back and make sure that the lines are actually working to the specs and what we have actually required and asked for. So, stating that, as I said, we've been very happy. Triad recommended actually Square One for the saws. We worked with Square One Design. We bought the saw from them, and again, when I was in the exhibition, Triad and Square One were together. They work with each other very closely, so we've been supported very well through them. That being stated, we also worked with through Triad. We worked with Passload. Passload supplied us all the guns, and we're working with them now through supplying us with all the nails and the fasteners. So basically, starting off with Triad, so far, with all the partnerships that they have embodied around them, that they are passing to their clients, for us has been honestly a very good fit of what where we started and where we are right now. I mean, at the beginning, when we had our shop, you would be embarrassed to bring somebody to your shop. Quite contrary, right now, we invite our clients to come down and see our facility, see what we can do. We started at the beginning, we could not produce our daily output before the Triad line. We could not exceed 2,000, 2,500 square feet of production. And I'm using square feet because that's the average term that people know. Our business is really in lineal feet of wall that we are producing, but for us, we use square footage just because of the general terminology. People, they can start say, "Oh, I'm building a 2,000 or 2,500 square foot, 1,000 square foot home." They relate that square footage to the product. So, in that sense, we could not exceed 2,500 square feet of production a day. With the Triad line, we are currently able to produce about, on average, of 7,500 to 8,000 square feet a day. Big jump, big change. Lead time for us in setting up for production is very important, because the Triad line can be as fast as the pre-setup of all the components that you have ready to go and assemble on the line. So, to be able to benefit from the Triad line, we had to do our initial setup before the line. And this is where all this support and technology with the pass loads, with the saws that we have had so far, has helped us reach to this goal. So, we're with the shop, we're just a little bit limited on space. We're working on increasing our space. We have an expansion plan. We're hoping that in the next 3 months we'll be able to shift all our cutting facilities to another part of the property. We own about 4 acres of land. What we have here from parking areas and buildings and support facilities. So we do have an expansion plan coming forward, which will be able to increase our areas for the setup, the cutting. So all our cutting and marking and all the setups will be set on one side of the building, and will increase our assembly area. That will hopefully be able to increase our output as well. So when we started looking at the lines with Triad, we were looking, okay, what is going to be the most efficient for us, and how are we going to do that? So we decided to go with 2 separate lines, two different kind of tables. One line was for the interior lines, which is very fast, very output kind of a line that will help us push all the interior walls out. And then we had, so basically all your bearing walls or your non-bearing walls will be on one side, and you'll have your shear walls and your exterior walls on one side, which is your exterior line or your interior line. The exterior line we have a sheathing machine on. On this sheathing machine, when we ordered it, one side on the line has a router to help us with the cleaning of the rough openings, and one line is built with 3 guns. Each gun has the capability of 700 nails, which changing of the cartridge, or basically of your nails, lasts longer. It's a machine that is programmable. You can program the sequence and the spacing between the nails on it, which is very important, and it's very fast. So it's almost, when it's working, it sounds like almost like a rattling gun. But it's a very efficient machine. We're very happy with it. It also has a squaring table on it, so when you are sheeting, it supports your wall, and the whole process that we have from squaring of the units on the assembly line down to the sheathing line, we've seen it on all our sites, that we have from a quality control point of view, our output has been phenomenal. Minimum, very minimum. There's no product, of course, without 100% perfect. Minor stuff on sites that is negligible. We don't have the issues or the problems that other companies are facing. They've been minimized with the efficiency of the line. So as I said, we're very happy with what we had. With the 2 lines right now, we are able to output 7,500 to 8,000 square feet a day. And right now we are running shifts from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the evening, 6 days a week.
And I think you are one of the first customers that got the transfer table that allows you to take those 2 lines and feed them back and forth depending on what you're outputting at the time.
Actually, that line was custom made for us, because it's a new line for Triad. When we first discussed it, they're involved, they're design engineers on this, and that line was actually custom built for us.
Oh, you helped innovate that product, basically.
Yeah, we created a need, and Triad came through with the design process. The whole aspect of this line is that if we're only producing exterior lines or shear walls that needs to be sheathed, that transfer station will transfer a wall from the interior line to the exterior line to help with so instead of we're trying to minimize as much labor intensive lifting on the line. So this way, if they frame a wall and it needs to be sheathed, this way it can be transferred from the interior line to the exterior line. Then we'll go through the sheathing process. The Triad line is like a hungry beast. If you don't have all the components ready for assembly, you will not be able to go through on it. So one part is having all your studs cut, ready to go. We do have, which also we have on the line, your subcomponent nailer. So to be able to feed that hungry beast, we also have your assembly tables before the assembly line, which is like your subcomponent assembly. We have a line that we do all your subcomponents for your window openings, for your headers. And we have a subcomponent nailer, which we're doing all your angles, all your U's, to get them ready for the production. So we are able to get ahead of the game and have about 2 or 3 days worth of material ready for production to be able to push through the lines. So having that capability, to be able to set up for the production with all the different saws and that we're getting from square one to help with cutting of all the studs, to help cutting of all the plates, has helped us to get into a position where we can be very competitive in the market.